Hi everyone. Let's do some yoga. I'm gonna do gentle yoga. We'll start standing up. I've got a mat. I've got double mats here because I'm on a wood floor. You could also use potentially a carpet if you have one that's comfortable. And I have a yoga block. You could also grab a water bottle. Just get comfortable and please always listen to your body. Do what's best for you. Um, We'll start standing up, just get centered, bring your feet together, and just get grounded. Take a few rounds of breath. Getting centered, kind of letting everything else fall away, and just focus on your breath and your practice. Maybe let hands float up to heart center. Feel free to set an intention if you like. Breathing here. Being conscious of stacking your shoulders over your hips here and send your tailbone down to the ground. Feel free to set an intention here. Samasti Tahi. Just find your resolve, set your resolve for your practice this morning. Let your arms float down to either side, maybe stand up a little bit taller. Inhale, arms float up. Bring your palms together, exhale. Let them travel down toward your heart center. And palms float up into either side. Just waking up your spine. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, float down. Start to imagine breathing here with your whole body. Inhale, float up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms float up. And exhale. So always finding your center here and feel yourself becoming more and more present as you practice. Feel free to keep doing that version, or maybe you do more of a forward fold. So I'm going to face this way so you can see me. You can roll down through your spine. You can go down as far as it feels good. Feel free to use your block or water bottle here if you want to be up a little bit higher. Just let your head float down. You want weight on the front of your feet here. Take a few rounds of breath here. So really start to feel the weight of your body, waking up your spine. You can stay here in your forward fold or maybe rise into a halfway lift, placing hands on your block, on your shins or maybe upper thighs. Lift through your heart here. Inhale here and exhale. Forward fold, maybe bend your knees here. Breathing deeper into your spine on your own time. Rolling up one vertebra at a time. Just maybe do some shoulder shrugs. You can draw shoulders up and down or roll them from front to back or back to front. You can even add that full breath here with your arms. See what feels good to you. Moving deeper and deeper into your practice here and being more present. Let's walk feet underneath our hips, knees are soft. Just gently swing your arms side to side, maybe tap your lower back. Again, this is what it looks like from the side. A little bit of qigong here. Wake your energy up.
So always just finding your range of motion, listening to your body here. Maybe shake out arms. Keep your feet underneath your hips here. We'll do a forward fold here. Arms float up, inhale. Nice stretch through your spine and exhale. Roll down through your spine, forward fold. So again, feel free to be up higher on your block there, or maybe you reach down toward the mat. You can even do a few plies here. Just kind of bend your knees and then straighten. Always keeping a soft bend in your knees, a micro bend in your knees. Let's rise into a halfway lift here. So rising up, maybe place your hands on your block or water bottle. You could also place your hands on your upper thighs here. Weight is still on the front of your feet. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale here and exhale, roll back down. Imagine you're melting back down towards your mat. And just roll up here, one vertebra at a time. You should start to notice your spine waking up here. Let's try that again. Inhale, reach high to the sky. Let your arms float down. Let's continue to wake up our spine here. So feet are underneath your hips. Keep your knees soft, arms open to either side. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees round through your back. Imagine you're hugging a ball. Inhale, rise up, shoulders are relaxed. Exhale, bend your knees round through your back. So feel free to continue doing cat and cow there, or maybe start heading back down towards your mat or block. So from here, let's do a gentle twist side to side. So you can ground your left hand on your block or mat. Take an inhale here. On an exhale, turn to the right, send right arm high to the sky. Let your right hand float down. Anchor through your right hand here and take an inhale. On an exhale, turn to the left. Send left arm high to the sky. Left arm floats down. You can even do a ragdoll. You could hold on to opposite arms, maybe sway side to side, or feel free to tent through your hands and sway side to side. Just take your time there, waking up your spine. I'll meet you back in the center here. And just let your hands float back down to your mat. You can bend your knees and restack your spine here. Roll up one vertebra at a time. Let your head float up last here. And then just walk your feet back together, Tadasana. Lengthening through your spine. Imagine drawing your shoulders up and then down your back, drawing your shoulder blades together. Take a few rounds of breath here. Inhale, arms reach high to the sky. Bring your palms together and exhale. Let them travel back down towards your heart center. Feel free to hold here and just focus on your breath, or maybe you sit into your heels. Doing a little bit of a chair here. You can keep hands at heart center, or maybe if you want to intensify this pose, you can bring arms over your head so your arms are kind of framing your ears. Imagine kind of turning your pinkies in a little bit. So find your level of engagement here. Feel free to stay just like this. Breathe here into those edges wherever you are. You should really start to feel your prana and life force building here. So really observe your body, but also at the same time being kind to your body and just doing what feels best to you. And then inhale here and exhale, roll back down, forward fold. Let's rise back into a halfway lift here, rising up, hands on your blocks, shins or upper thighs. Imagine you're inhaling through the crown of your head here. Imagine you're exhaling through the soles of your feet, creating a loop of energy here. Take an inhale here, and on an exhale, forward fold. Maybe even wrap arms behind hamstrings. You can bring nose to knees. getting a deeper stretch. You can just let your arms float back down to your mat and roll up here. It's kind of keeping your spine lubricated here. Maybe add some shoulder shrugs. Always grounding through your feet here. Letting yourself breathe more and more, starting from your belly. I'll meet you back in Tadasana. Let's practice our balance. So we're in Tadasana. You could use a chair or a wall for balance. We're going to start here in our foundational pose, Tadasana, and then open one foot to the side. Land on the ball of your foot here. So finding your balance here, find your drishti. You want to find a single point of focus, so your eyes can be open or closed for this. You could even close your eyes, find your third eye here to practice your balance, or maybe you keep your eyes open and find a single fixed point. You could even place your foot above or below your knee here. Feel free to switch up your arms as well. You could make some big or small branches, really see what feels good to you this morning. You can always use your foot as a kickstand here, just resting on the ball of your foot. Finding your balance here in tree. Whenever you're ready, you can let your leaves and branches float down, even kick out your leg, and feel free to reset your spine in any capacity. Really kind of also finding that flow as you practice. And I'll meet you back in Tadasana. Just bring your feet closer together. Lengthen through your spine. You want to shift your weight to your other leg and use your other foot as your kickstand. So I'm resting on the ball of my foot here. Find your drishti. Eyes are open or closed. You want to find a single fixed point to help you balance here. You can start with your eyes open. Maybe over time you close your eyes and find your focus and balance. Feel free to place your foot above or below your knee. You can also create some branches here. Keep breathing here. Breathing into this meditative stance. We often take balance for granted, and if you practice balance a lot, it makes it a lot easier to keep your balance. It's kind of like the more you keep being active in any capacity, it's also easier to stay active as well. Feel free to lower down, and you can reset your spine in any capacity, or I'll just meet you back in Tadasana. So in Tadasana, again, your feet are together. Make sure you're closer to the top of your mat here, so you have room to step back. Inhale, arms reach high to the sky, mountain. And on your exhale, just step your right foot back. You're going to flip your right foot open, so your feet are kind of perpendicular to one another here. So right arm to the back and left arm to the front. So if I were facing to the side, this is how I would look. This is warrior two. You want to keep your knee over your ankle here. I'm going to get back on my mat here. So again, left, or you just have your front foot facing to the front and your back foot is kind of at a diagonal. And then your back arm floats down. And reach your front arm toward the back of your body. This is reverse warrior. This is what it looks like from the side. Reverse warrior. So you can look over your back shoulder. You can even turn and look toward your palm. I'll meet you back here in warrior two. Let's try triangle from here. So just straighten your front leg, keep a micro bend in your knee here. I'm going to do a mini triangle to start. So you can reach arms back open to front and back here and shift forward, inhale, and exhale. Just lower your front arm down. You can send your right arm up to the sky, creating a bit of a mini triangle. Feel free to hold here. If it's in your practice, you could also shift forward more, maybe reaching left hand or your front hand down towards your foot or block. So if you were using a block here, sometimes it's nice to have that support with a block.
You can really feel this in your core. You might feel it in your front hamstring as well. And just bend your front knee and float back to warrior two. And just to come out of this, push your back foot off the mat and step your back foot to meet your front foot. So we're back here. In Tadasana, reach high to the sky. Inhale, let your arms float down. And just finding your center here. Let's try the other side. So Tadasana, arms float up. So this time, just do your other leg. You're going to raise one leg up, step it behind you, flip open your foot, send your arms front to back. So you're here in warrior two on the other side. So warrior two, the other direction. You want to find your balance here, really engage your core. Use your gaze for balance here too, just like you would in tree. Take a nice deep inhale and an exhale. Your back arm floats down, your front arm reaches up, and then reach toward the back of your body, reverse warrior. Yeah, good job there, and then let your arms float back. Let's try our mini triangle here. So you can just straighten your front leg, keep a micro bend in your knee here. Take an inhale, and on an exhale, shift forward first. Exhale, your front arm reaches down, maybe towards your knee. You can send back arm up to the sky. This is like a mini triangle. Feel free to stay just like this, or maybe you shift further down towards your front foot. And again, feel free to use your block or water bottle here. You want to keep your front knee soft. Finding your version of triangle here. Always feel free to hold longer in poses, or maybe you're just passing through to come out of this. You want to bend your front knee and float back into warrior two. And then just push your back foot off the front. You're going to step back into mountain. Feet are together, reach high to the sky, inhale, and then exhale, roll back down through your spine, forward fold. I'm going to face this way so you can see me. On your own time here, take an inhale, and on an exhale, rising into halfway lift. So over time as you warm up, you could even tent through your fingers there and just rest your fingers on your mat and just lift through your heart and head to come into your halfway lift. To find a deeper expression. Inhale here, nice deep inhale. On an exhale, forward fold. Just toe heel your feet so they come back underneath your hips here. Maybe do a few plies. You could bend and straighten. Always keep a micro bend in your knees here. Maybe even come back to ragdoll. So you're holding on to opposite arms. You could stay in the center. Breathe into your spine, or maybe you sway side to side in any capacity. And then from here, just let your hands float back down to your mat and drop down onto your knees. So we're going to go to child's pose. You're passing through tabletop. You've got your wrists underneath your shoulders and knees underneath your hips. And just take an inhale here. On an exhale, you could just drop down into your forearms and let your head float down, or maybe you come in more traditional child's pose, where you bring the edges of your feet together and create more of a V shape with your knees, and take an inhale. And on an exhale, maybe you sparkle out your fingertips and place the top of your forehead on your mat. See what works for you. You could also use your block here. Reconnect with your breath and intention here. Now feel free to stay in child's pose. If you wanted to come into dolphin with me, you could rest your arms on your mat and line up your knees with your hips. Actually walk your knees together here.
Forearms are resting on your mat. Tuck your toes under and send your hips high to the sky. Totally optional. That's dolphin. You can drop down into your knees. Maybe curl up in a ball. Always taking your time here on an inhale, walk your hands up, and you can just sit down, swing one leg around. I'll meet you in Sukhasana, or easy pose. Sitting cross-legged, grounding here. Shoulders are relaxed. Find your breath here. Let's create some easy twists here. So take an inhale. On an exhale, just turn and look one direction. Look over your shoulder. And unwind, head back to the center. Inhale. On an exhale, turn and look the other direction. And unwind. Maybe let's try that one more time, either direction here. You can even bring hands to heart center. Take an inhale, on an exhale, maybe twist and look one direction, or you can just look. Unwind, pass through the center, take an inhale, on an exhale, maybe just look over your shoulder. Or maybe you're looking up. Always listening to your body there. Unwind. Let's extend legs forward. Arms float up. Inhale. And on your exhale, maybe shift forward. You could reach towards your toes or the mat. Imagine lengthening through your back here. Easing into this pose. Rolling back up one vertebra at a time. And let's sit cross-legged again. So let's do cat and cow here. Open your arms to either side. Inhale. On an exhale, round through your back. Imagine you're hugging a ball. Inhale, lift through your heart. Exhale, round through your back. Feel free to continue on there. Doing cat and cow, or you can roll back up through your spine, extend legs out, inhale, arms float up, and exhale, seated forward fold, shifting forward. Feel free to stay in your forward fold. You could even shift a little bit from hip to hip, or maybe even look over to one side. Always imagine lengthening through your spine here. You could pass through the center, maybe look the other direction. Head back to the center, roll back up through your spine here. Let's stretch through our hips a little bit. So legs are long. You can just bend one knee and cross your foot over your knee here. Maybe you just stay like this. You can imagine kind of gently hugging your knee that's bent, or maybe to continue further, inhale. On your exhale, hugging your knee with your opposite elbow, turn and look over your shoulder. Feeling free to hold in that twist, or you can unwind and pass through the center and extend that leg out. Maybe even hold on to your big toe. So again, listen to your body here. Get a load of the hamstring stretch there. Imagine engaging your core. And you can try the other side. Both legs are long. Then bend your other knee. Take an inhale. On an exhale, cross it over your knee. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe you just stay in the center and hug your knee. Or take an inhale. And on an exhale, keep hugging that knee with your opposite elbow. And look over your shoulder. So we're creating twists here and also stretching deeper through our hips as we continue to warm up. You can unwind your leg there. Maybe hold on to your big toe. You can also hold on underneath your hamstring there. This is always
You know, you don't have to. You could also hold on like this, or you could skip that altogether. Let's come to butterfly. So just bring the soles of your feet together. Find your breath here. You can even flap your wings, or just hold steady. Holding on to ankles here, lift through your heart. Exhale, hold on to your feet and round through your back. Ease into this gentle stretch. Inhale, lift through your heart, look up. Exhale, round through your back. Inhale, lift through your heart. Maybe each time going a little bit further. Exhale, round through your back. Roll back up through your spine here. Let's stretch side to side. Inhale, pass through the center. Exhale, stretch the opposite direction. Inhale, rise up. And let's extend legs long. I'm going to sit the other direction here. So you can extend legs long. Feel free to grab your block. My block is far away right now. But if it's closer by, you could grab it. You can hold just like this and just kind of ease into the stretch. It can be intense, but it's worth it. Or maybe on your exhale, walk your hands forward. You could rest them on your block or your mat. Practice not resisting as you ease into this pose. So you just want to listen to your mind and your heart and your body here. Where can you feel that resistance? And then on your exhale, imagine just letting go and easing more into this surrendering pose. Now you can stay just like this, or maybe you stretch a little bit deeper. You would rise up, inhale, and on an exhale you could hold onto your big toe, or maybe just rest your hand on your leg, opposite arm floats up, maybe peek under your arm. You could stay in butterfly too, where your feet are together. That first pose we did, if that just feels better to you. You can switch sides here. Rest your hand on your leg, or maybe you're holding onto your big toe. Opposite arm floats up. Maybe peek under your arm. And then roll down. Let's just stretch through our hips a little bit more while we're up here, and then we'll head down to the mat. So you just make your hips square with your mat here. And you're kind of at the, just imagine hips are square. Maybe we'll try a twist here first. So feel free to hold just like this, or you can take an inhale. And on an exhale, where your knee is bent, just start to look over your shoulder. On your exhales, let it go here. Can unwind here, take an inhale. On an exhale, maybe do a counter twist. Look the opposite direction. You can unwind here. Feel free to stay up like this, or maybe walk hands forward. Again, you could use your block here. Ease into this twist, or this stretch. You should feel a nice stretch here in your hip. Exhale, let go. Again, feel free to stay there longer. You can roll back up through your spine, maybe arms float up. Exhale, open them to either side. Imagine creating a twist like that. Let your arms float down. Let's try that again. Arms float up. Inhale.
On your exhale, arms float up in the opposite direction, creating a bit of a gentle twist. Head back through the center. Let's try that one more time each side. Inhale, arms float up. On your exhale, gently twist to one side. Arms release front to back. They float back down. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, turn to the opposite side, arms float down. Unwind back to the center. Unwind your back leg and kind of make your shin more or less parallel with the front of your mat, and then you can bend your other knee, walk your leg behind you. So again, see what feels good to you. If none of that feels good to you, feel free to stay in butterfly or easy pose. You could stay like this. This is easy pose. You could stay like this. And you could do some twists from here, and you can stretch from here. Never feel compelled to do a pose if it doesn't feel good to you in the moment. Let's try our twist from here. This is just imagine keeping hips square. Take an inhale. And on an exhale, turn toward where your knee is bent. Find your range of motion. You want to keep your shoulders relaxed here. Just taking your time here. Unwind, head back to the center, inhale. On an exhale, let's look the opposite direction. Unwind, head back to the center. Feel free to hold just like this, or you can take an inhale. On an exhale, maybe walk hands forward. You can rest on your forearms or your block. Maybe even let your head float down. Breathe into your hip here. Feel free to hold there, or you can walk your hands back up. Maybe your arms float up. Inhale. On an exhale, just turn to one side. Arms float open, front to back. Floating back down. Head back to the center. Inhale, arms float up. On your exhale, just turn the opposite direction. Head back to the center. Let's try that one more time each side. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, turn to the side. Heading back to the center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, turn to the side. And arms float down. Unwind your back leg here. I'll meet you back in easy pose. And just ground through your seat here. Reconnecting with your breath. Let's try cat and cow here, so you can hold on to your knees. Inhale, lift through your heart here. Look up. Exhale, round through your back. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round through your back. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round. Roll back up through your spine here. So we're going to stretch through our hips a little bit here from easy pose, where you're sitting cross-legged. So take an inhale here, and on an exhale, just head one direction toward your knee. Place your hands on either side. Bringing nose toward knee, you're going to feel a stretch in your opposite hip here. So you can stay just like this. Or maybe walk your hand out here and your front arm floats up. You can even peek under your arm here. Create that rotation. Lengthen. Inhale here and exhale. Hand floats down, bring nose to knee. You want to breathe into your opposite hip as knee here. Walk your hands around to the center. Feel free to use your block here. Let your head float down. Breathing into the edges here. Take your time. On your own time, you can make your way to your opposite knee. So bring nose to knee and hands around either side here. Feel free to hold like this. Or same hand is where your nose is toward your knee, walk it out. Opposite arm floats up, maybe turn and look under your arm. And arm floats down, bring nose to knee here. And just roll back up here, arms open to either side. Let's do cat and cow here. Inhale, exhale, round through your back. Imagine you're hugging that ball. Inhale, lift through your heart. Exhale, round through your back. Now just roll back up through your spine here. Roll back up, head floats up last. Just let your arms float down to either side. Maybe rest the back of your hands on the mat here, or on the ground. Bend your knees here and line up your feet with your hips. I'm going to face this direction. Feet are lined up with hips. You can walk your hands behind you. So hands are facing the same direction as your feet. And feel free to hold like this. You can even bend your elbows a little bit, feel a gentle stretch in your shoulders. If you want to do reverse tabletop here, straighten back up and take an inhale. On an exhale, lift up. You can hold up there, building strength, or you can lower your hips back down, extend legs out, and let's just stay here. Breathe here. Hands are resting at either side. Sitting up nice and tall. Your shoulders are relaxed here. Good job there. So we're going to head down to the mat just for a little bit. So you want to come to the top of your mat so you have room to lie down. And you could also, if you're using a block, you can place it somewhere in the center. Just come closer to the top of your mat. You can bring your feet together here. Sit up nice and tall in your sits bones. Maybe wrap hands across your shins. This is kind of a gentle modified boat. I'm going to stay like this morning. You could go further into boat. You could place hands underneath your hamstrings. That's a little bit more of a core engagement. Make sure you're sitting up tall here. And you could even rock back and flex your feet and even go really further into boat if you want to in any capacity. If any of that's too intense, feel free to stay in Sukhasana or easy pose. And just take a few breaths. You're at the top of your mat here. I'll meet you in boat. So feet are planted firmly together. Hands rest across the front of your shins and you're sitting up nice and tall in your sits bones. Reach arms up to the sky, inhale. And on an exhale, hands float down and wrap them underneath your hamstrings. Start to drop your chin down towards your chest. Just roll down through your spine. Whenever you need to, you can drop down onto your forearms, and then I'll meet you in butterfly on the ground. So again, I'm going to face the other direction so you can see me. You're just going to lower yourself down to the mat and bring the soles of your feet together. Knees fall open to either side. Feel free to stay here in butterfly, or maybe you stack one knee on top of the other, looking up to the sky, or maybe over your opposite shoulder. Pass back through butterfly. Soles of feet together. Make the shape of a butterfly on the ground. Maybe stack other knee on top of your knee. You can look up to the sky, or maybe look over your opposite shoulder. I'll meet you back in butterfly. Bring the soles of your feet together. Your knees just fall open to either side. Rest your arms on the ground, palms facing up. You can even bring your arms above your head and feel a nice stretch here. Maybe even hold across the outer edge of one wrist or interlace your fingers here and gently stretch to one side. In butterfly, you can pass through the center. Inhale and an exhale. Gently stretch the other direction. Feeling a stretch in your side bodies here. Meet you back into center. Just let your arms float back down to either side. Keep one knee bent. Draw the other knee in toward your chest. And then butterfly. Soles of your feet together. Now keep your opposite knee bent. Draw the other knee in toward your chest. And now send the soles of both feet up to the sky. You can even flex your hands and feet here. Keep your knees soft. Hold on to one leg. Extend your other leg out here. I'm going to have to scoot back a little bit. Getting a nice hamstring stretch here. Maybe bend your knee here. Opposite hand holds across your knee. Take an inhale. And on an exhale, pull your knee across your body and look over your opposite arm. Heading back to the center. Extend both legs out. Maybe flex hands and feet. Inhale. Exhale. And then hold on to your other leg. Extend your other leg out here. Feel that stretch in your hamstring. And you can hold just like this. Getting that nice stretch, or bend your knee here. Your opposite hand pulls gently across the top of your knee here. Pull it across your leg and look over your opposite arm. Feeling that nice release in that supine twist. And one more time. Little bear. Just send your feet and hands, the soles of your feet up to the sky, creating a little bit of an inversion here. Maybe flex hands and feet. You can even bend your knees here and cross one ankle over the other. Maybe rock front to back or side to side. Kind of feel that release in your lower back. So see what feels good to you here. If you want to engage your core a little bit more, you can even place your hands underneath your hamstrings and pull yourself up to seated. Kind of doing like a rock and roll. You could do that a few times. Anything at all that feels good to you. And maybe send feet and hands up to the sky and flex. Let's just do the other side here. Cross one ankle over the other. Hold on to your knees. You can rock side to side or rock front to back. Or feel free to place hands underneath hamstrings and roll up. Engage your core. You could even pass through boat or maybe a pike. You want to draw your belly toward your spine. I'm holding onto my big toes there. Then cross one ankle over the other and roll back down. Holding onto knees again. So if you're just rocking side to side or front to back with one ankle crossed over the other, you're going to feel a really nice stretch in your lower back. And now I'll meet you in happy baby. Uncross ankles and hold onto your big toes here. Just let your feet and knees fall outside of your hips here. You can hold steady, or maybe you rock side to side. You can also hold onto your ankles. I'll meet you back in your little inversion here. Bring your feet together. Maybe you even draw knees in toward your chest and bring nose to knees. Any final stretches here that might feel good to you. Taking a few moments here, just move around. It doesn't have to be linear movement. Breathing and stretching in any capacity that feels good to you. Anything at all. Listening to your body here. Whenever you're ready, let's head into Shavasana. So sometimes I'll do butterfly for Shavasana. You can just bring the soles of your feet together, let knees fall open to either side. Or maybe you do traditional Shavasana. You can let your feet extend out. I'm going to come back, scoot back a little bit. Extend your legs all the way out, let your feet fall open. Palms fall open to either side. Just close your eyes here. I'm going to do butterfly. Feel free to keep your legs long there. Close your eyes and breathe here. Just really finding your breath and finding your center here. Really let yourself just relax and let go, and you're integrating your practice here. Finding that deep rest. Finding that place where your body can start to renew. And you can stay just like this and rest and integrate. If you would like to complete your practice where on the ground, seated, you could draw knees in toward your chest and take an inhale. On an exhale, maybe drop both knees to one side and come into a fetal pose. And over time, walking yourself back up and come back into a seated pose. And again, feel free to find any final stretches or poses here. Anything else that you might need to do to get the final kind of excess energy out. And then getting comfortable. Feeling free to sit in cross-legged pose, easy pose. Anything at all. Really root into your mat here and feel the support of the earth. Place your hands where they're comfortable. Let your shoulders relax here. Let your mind relax. Noticing your breath. Noticing that union of your breath and your body, your mind and your body, and your spirit. Join through breath and awareness. Finding that peace that comes with practicing. Maybe noticing what you could carry with you off of your mat this morning as you travel throughout the rest of your day. Maybe bring hands to heart center. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.